done. That can still be taught, but you just have to get permission from the parent. And if the parent doesn't want their child to be taught what you're going to teach, they have that right to remove the child from having heard that. As I've been told by some of the parents, they were exposed, a number of them, and some that I'll bring here for you to hear, to subject matter in 9th grade that they just frankly didn't want them to be exposed to. Kids didn't understand, and they ended up in some conversations they didn't necessarily want to. So the easy out, I suppose, for people would be to say, well, they hear that all the time with their friends, but that's simply not true. And if the good representative with whom we had served, Gary Marshall, was here, he would tell you that in Idaho, we're different, and we like being different, and we have a lot of people here who simply do not want their kids exposed to this. I don't know if that helped their representative.
Follow-up, Representative?
Yes, thank you, Chairman and Representative Ehardt. Yes, that's what I thought, is that that what this bill is about, this RS is about instructions and guidelines for obtaining consent, not so much the content.
Okay. Any further comment? Okay. Representative Church.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I do understand the content versus consent, and I still have I'm very concerned that to get consent for all of the things mentioned in this bill would make it very difficult to teach about David, to teach about very important Supreme Court cases. Even recently I watched one of our PragerU videos on the Holocaust, and it talked about rape. And so I would be concerned, and I am absolutely willing to work with you if I could move for an alternative motion to send it back to the sponsor in order to kind of talk through some of the ways that we can eliminate the content and make sure that it's consent.
Okay, thank you, Representative Church. We have an alternate motion to send the RS back to the sponsor. Any further discussion or motions, committee? Representative Garner.
Chairman Pickett and Representative Ehardt, I think I will be supporting the alternative motion simply because you've got it in the section where it deals with sex ed, and yet you say that it's going into other courses in the classrooms. And I can see a big problem in like the literature and art. And I do believe we have a system already in place where the parents can opt out. And surely if the parents are exercising their right to be involved and know what's being taught in their schools, which they are encouraged to do so by the school boards, that they can go down and make a decision on their own.
Okay, Representative Hawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And on discussion, I will not be supporting the second motion. And I want to thank Representative Garner for pointing out, well, we do have an opt-out policy, and this legislation seeks to change that to an opt-in. That's what this is about. And I want to again thank Representative Ehardt for bringing it.
Okay, thank you, Representative. Further discussion? Questions? All right, seeing none.
Chairman,
oh, yes,
given that I have been standing up here, might I make a response in general to, or even a closing response to that? I would really like to impress upon everyone's mind, opt-out is not working. I don't know how else to say it any clearer. It is not working. The sexuality content is increasing. Parents are having their kids exposed to things that they do not want them exposed to. We are the legislative body of the state of Idaho, and I believe it falls on us to set that standard. Opt out leaves all that responsibility with the children. Opt in puts it with the adults. And I just ask you this as you're thinking, gosh, this may be really difficult for the teachers. They may have a lot to do, because I think as I've heard different things, I think that it would cross various classes. It wouldn't all be in the same class, but if it's all in the same class, I would simply ask, how much sex or how much sexuality are you planning to teach in that class? Anyway, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. We'll wait for you to return to your seat, Representative Ehardt, and